determined, striving for the best. A woman on the move, a sister of success. Focused on the future, a diva supreme. The secret place where dreamers go to dream. Stepping out on faith and always dressed to the T. Attracting big thinkers with an abundance mentality. Expanding my vision beyond what eyes can see because mediocrity has been removed from my vocabulary. I stand before you and I am destined to excel. I am powerful. I am poised. And again, my name is Darnyelle. All right, so let's get this party started. As we go through me really sharing these 4 key principles and strategies that I developed in the system, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and illustrate for you how I know that this system works. It works because I did it before I shared it with anyone else. So my background probably started like many of yours in corporate America, right? Most of us started there before we became unemployable. You know that I remember driving to work and I started to get headaches in the parking lot. Anybody identify with that? And the thought that for one more time my boss would ask me to do something made me want to lose my mind. And I'm like, you know what, there's gotta be a better way. And I found my first way, my way out of corporate America in Mary Kay Cosmetics. You guys ever heard of it, right? Yeah. Here's a secret, it's not just for old white ladies with big white hair. Yeah, brown girls from the projects of Wilmington, Delaware can use it too. And I started using the product and selling the product, and before I knew it, I had a pink Cadillac. Which is a big deal. I pride myself on being a belief barrier breaker, what I like to call a BBB. You see, because I'm not supposed to be here, I'm technically a crack baby. My mother smoked crack her entire pregnancy with me. And I share that, you know, just to be an illustration that when there's a purpose for your life, there's nothing that can keep you from it. I think the doctors are still scratching their head over the fact that there's never been anything cognitively wrong with me. And I've been to the NICU unit. I do a lot of volunteer work, and I've seen the babies who are struggling with not nearly the amount of crack that was in my system as a newborn. And so I consistently get excited about the fact that I'm living in my purpose, and I found that through going down this path. So I started after I left my corporate job in Mary Kay, and I got to the top of Mary Kay for the state of Delaware very early. It was a big deal, you know, to be this brown girl driving a pink car. I drive up to the light and they look at me, and I was always trying to figure out, are they looking at the pink car or are they looking at the brown girl inside? Like, what was it? What was going on here? But it was the most amazing experience, and it became the training ground for the work that I do today. In late 2007, I had had enough, because at some point in time, when you really understand that who you were created to be is to do amazing things for other people, sitting behind someone else's desk or expanding someone else's brand becomes a problem for you. And that's where I found myself again at that crossroads. And I, as my favorite poem by Robert Frost said, I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I decided to start my own company from scratch. I remember after finishing that second pink Cadillac, going to bed and crying out to God. I'm a spiritual person. God, there's got to be something better for me. Can you please show me what it is? Now, I didn't know he was going to tell me that quickly. So I went to bed, and in my dream, I saw myself walking into a building where there was a marquee that said Incredible One Enterprises. And I was like, that's interesting. And I woke up the next morning and I'm like, okay, what is this Incredible One Enterprises thing? And what I clearly heard my spirit say to me is that it was time for me to create my dream company. A company where I would only do the things that I truly love to do. And so that's what I do today at Incredible One. We are a marketing strategy and business optimization firm for business leaders. We work primarily with women, but we accept a few good men. Because I mean, it's just status quo to do so, right? But we work primarily with women because as women, we wear so many hats, we do so many things, but the one thing we typically do wrong is we don't know how to set the appropriate value for the goodness that we give to the world. We sell ourselves short consistently, and then we feel really, really bad after the transaction is over because we know we should have charged more. And I said I had had enough of it, and I wanted to show people what I had learned to be able to do things differently. And it can totally resonate with that, because when I first started my company, that first year, I made a whole $20,000. And I was busy. You ever been really, really busy doing a bunch of nothing and making even less? That was my story, but I was like, I can't have another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. In fact, if you just sit them on the counter next to them, I'm gonna start screaming because I don't want any more. I had enough ramen noodles. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I have to do something. I have to figure out how to make this thing work. And so then I started to dig into my toolbox, and I started to take the time, because as women, we never stop. We're always going. And so as my grandmother used to say, Darnyelle, Antoinette, get somewhere and sit down. That's what I did. And what I did when I got somewhere and sit down is I created this system. This was the very first part. My system has expanded. We call it the Leverage Your Incredible Factor system. But the rock star formation of this system was the very first thing that we did. And so what I want to share with you is how we took our company in 3 years from 20,000 to $500,000. And we're actually poised to do $1 million this year in our company. I don't share that with you because I'm so great. I share it because the system is proven and it works. And I also share it because I'm not asking, or I'm not going to suggest strategies to you that I am not doing myself. These are things that we are actively doing at Incredible One Enterprises. Does that sound good? Okay, great. So as we get started, I always like to go, my grandmother said, when you go places, you have to go bearing gifts. You have to give some things for free. So is it okay if I give you all something for free? My beautiful assistant Charity is going to come around with a piece of paper in a few minutes before we leave today. And I want to share with you, I've created what I call Next Level Marketing Secrets. It's a special report that's filled with all types of branding and marketing information, because I only have about 45 minutes because I want to allow for some questions. And I'm not going to get to everything that I believe you really need to know in order to take your business to the next level. So this free gift is going to allow me to give you some more of that in writing, and it's going to give you some amazing scripts that you can begin to utilize with people that'll help you to extend your business. So is it okay if I give you this gift? Awesome. Okay, so let's get started. So everyone should have a handout, right? You all have the handout? And I'm going to walk you through these 4 components of the system. And I'm going to share with you what's really, really important. The page is blank with the exception of the 4 steps on purpose, because I want you to write down and take away what you know you'll go home to apply. Because we know that implementation is what separates the girls from the women, right? We've got to get out there and do something different if we want something different. So I want you to pick those things that you know are going to work for you and begin to use them to actually make a difference. So as we get started, I want to share with you what I mean when I say incredible factor, right? Because it's like, what is it? I want you to think about the Big Mac. Before you knew that the special sauce was Thousand Island, you guys all knew that, right? Right? Before you knew that, all you knew that there was something about the combination of those all two beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on the sesame seeds bun that set your mouth into a fiesta. Well, I believe that each of us, too, we're born with a secret sauce. And when we learn how to share that secret sauce, our clients will be salivating to get it, okay? So that one was for my foodies. Anybody in here like to dance like a rock star? So what about Michael Jackson and that moonwalk? The very first time he did the moonwalk, he changed the game forever, right? Well, I believe that we all have our own moonwalk. And when we learn how to share our moonwalk in an incredible way, we change the game in our industry forever. And that's what I want to show you how to do. So that's what the incredible factor is. I also like to share the universal law of business. Universal because it doesn't matter what business you're in, there's one law that all people who buy are governed by. The universal law of business says you want to find a group of people who have the problem that you solve that are ready right now to pay for a solution to that problem. Has anybody here ever met someone who thought what you did was great, but they weren't going to be ready to buy from you until their children left for college, their mother-in-law died, they sold their house, got the condo, and buried the dog? Anybody? Right? Because we all meet those people. Oh, I just love your work, and as soon as I'm going to work with you. Well, those are not your ideal clients, because based on the universal law of business, they are not ready for what you have to offer right now. And many of us, especially women, we spend too much time chasing the people who have told us no. Well, what I like to teach in my marketing style instead is to focus on the 67% of the people who are actively looking for what your solution is. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about the R. The R in the system stands for realigning your time and priorities and shifting the way that you think about marketing. Many of us are really averse to marketing because we think that if we share what we do, we're going to be bragging, we're going to be boastful, or we're going to be that dang blasted, sleazy used car salesman, right? I don't want to sell anything. Well, I'm going to ask you to think something differently, okay? I'm going to ask you to think about your business, what your business does, as if it were a gift. What do we do with gifts? We give them away. How do we give them away? Wrapped up really, really pretty. That's marketing, right? Or we share with people, I have a gift for you. I want you to think about your products and services as if they were a gift. And when you are not giving gifts, I believe you're being stingy, you're being selfish. In addition, of course, the byproduct is that you're not growing your company, you're not earning income, you're not influencing your community. But there's a way to be able to do that when you learn how to use authentic, say authentic. And compelling, say compelling. Marketing. And that's what we do. That's what we specialize in at Incredible One Enterprises. I want to show you how to market in a way that is completely authentic to you. And that's what the Rockstar formula is going to do for you. So the R is about realigning your time and priorities. When you're in business and before you have a full practice, anybody right now, their practice is full, they couldn't take on another client if they wanted to. Great, I'm in the right place. Awesome. Every once in a while I get a room full of people, I'm like, why am I talking to you? You don't need me. So before your practice is full, you got to shift the way you work. Most of us are really busy being busy doing things that don't generate income. Anybody an organization freak? Right? You got color-coded folders. Green means client, purple means private. You got it all figured out. And you come in, the office is pristine, the desk is great, but the phone's not ringing, right? Well, I believe that until you have a full practice, until you have all the clients you can ever stand in your business, there's only two things you need to be doing. This you'll want to write down. Number one, you want to be marketing to bring in new clients. And number two, you want to be working with the clients you have and teaching them how to help you to get some more. That's it. Turn to your neighbor and say, I got some shifting to do. I didn't hear everyone, and we won't move on until everybody says it, because you know you need to shift. So let's try this again. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I've got some shifting to do. So this is the important thing. You've got to focus on income or profit producing activities. Those are the things that are going to bring you into the faces of your ideal clients, or what I like to call your audience of one. I'll explain what I mean by that in just a second. And so here are some examples of some of the things that I think you should be doing to stay in front of your clients. So how many people, well, of course you all do this because you're here today, do networking, right? But I'm going to suggest that you don't do networking as usual, because that's what most people do. They go and they collect 500 business cards, and then they get home and they do nothing with them. They have a big pile of them. Oh, is that just me? So they have this big pile of business cards, right? I'm going to suggest that you start to look at getting qualified contacts. Say qualified. Qualified. Here's what a qualified contact is. A qualified contact is someone who, A, is ready to use your service right now, or B, knows someone who's ready to use your service right now. If they don't fall into one of those two categories, you shouldn't keep their business card. It's revolutionary, I know. But we don't do anything with those other business cards. They waste space, and we are wasting marketing dollars that people, they make money. I'm going to tell you about how you got to shift your business card too. So everybody who has a business card that doesn't have something on the back side of their business card, raise your hand. So most of you, the back side of your business card has something on it. Give yourselves a round of applause. You can give yourself a bigger round of applause than that. Here's why. They got to print the front of your card anyway, and it automatically comes with the back. So if there's nothing on it, you're wasting valuable marketing space. It's an opportunity for you to be able to let people know what they need to know about what it is that you do on this little card, which would evoke them to take additional action with you. So if you're not using the back of your business card, I want you to write down on your piece of paper, when I get back to my office, I gotta find something to put on the back of this card. And I'm gonna suggest that it's not just anything, but it's an opportunity for you to find something that you can share with potential clients that would make them wanna go and visit your website. You like that? All right, so let's get back to realigning your time and priorities and some of the activities that you should be doing in order to make sure that this realignment takes place. So how many of you stay in touch with the people that you've worked with in the past, not your current clients, but people that you've worked with in the past in one form or another? Okay, that's not nearly enough hands. Well, I believe that one of the most important marketing streams is what I call, I think other people call it something different, but I call it top of mind marketing. Top of mind marketing means that if you stay in front of them enough when they finally have the problem that you solve, they're going to remember you, they're going to call you, or they're going to refer someone else to you. So there are multiple ways that I suggest that you go about ensuring that you're doing top of mind marketing. One of those things is handwritten notes. You know, we all have handwriting. Did you know that? Because see, we're so busy sending emails, and I don't know about you, but my inbox is inundated. I don't need another email. But if you send me a handwritten note, I'm probably going to pick up the phone, or I'm probably going to remember you. Or if you even send me a letter. I like to have people send warm letters out to the people that they've met and just share with them what's going on. And as long as you don't make the letter look like a bill, I guarantee you they'll open it. Because I don't need another bill. And if you send it looking like a bill, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to do anything with that. But there's an opportunity for you to stay in touch with people by writing to them, because everybody's going to open mail, but your email may never be seen. Another important stay in top of mind marketing stream is an e-zine. It's an electronic newsletter, right? Who sends an electronic newsletter? In your electronic newsletter, do you give them a call to action? I see some heads. Some of you don't know what a call to action is. A call to action means that you are telling them what to do next. Have you ever read an article or read something that was really, really insightful to you? You got some great information, and there was nothing to tell you how to get in contact with the person or how to advance and go to the next level? Well, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you tell them what to do next so that they can stay in touch with you, and that's what you're able to do. Also in your e-zine, you want to make sure that you're highlighting anything that you've got new that's going on, right? Another stay in touch stream or top of mind marketing stream are press releases. How many people send press releases every time something new and exciting happens in their company? Okay, again, not nearly enough people. This is a great way to stay top of mind, because guess what happens every time you send a press release? New inquiries are generated via the internet, so that when people put up your name or your company name, it helps them move you up in Google search. And I think every single one of us would love to be #1 in our industry for our keywords on Google, maximizing every opportunity and have that phone just ringing constantly. Well, this is another great way that you can do it. So instead of spending time in your office and organizing your files and making sure that they're all nice and color-coded and you know exactly where everything is, you can do some of these strategies to help you to realign your time and get back to doing those two things that are the most important. So here's a quick quiz for you. Don't try to do 2 Qs right in a row, because it is going to get you tongue-tied. So what were the 2 things that I say that you should be doing if you don't have a full practice? Okay, great. High five your neighbor and say, I think we're ready for the O. Hold on one second, I need water. All right. So the O in your marketing is all about getting really, really clear about what I call your audience of one. If you've spent any time around marketing, you hear a lot of people say you need a target market, right? You need a group of people that you need to focus on. Well, this is the world according to Darnyelle, and Darnyelle says that a target is not good enough. A target is still too big for you to really make an impact. So let me illustrate for you a popular target audience, especially amongst women. I want to work with professional women. Professional women that are between the ages of 30 and 45 years old. Professional women who make $100,000 a year total household income and live in the suburbs. We have 8 billion people in this world. Can you please tell me how many women you think fall into that category? And are you possibly going to be able to make a connection with that many women? Most likely not. Then you have the crowd of people that say, oh no, that's not how you want to do it. If you want to get rich, you've got to get a... Okay, I like she said a husband. That's what I'm talking about. I've been trying to get one. Since I can't get one, I gotta work. While that wasn't the answer I was looking for, I like it. Of course, that makes my market like a rock star completely go away. We gotta start marketing something else, right? We're not marketing our businesses anymore. We're just focused on getting a husband. That was too funny. And that is the first time that I've ever heard that. I think you should give her a round of applause. Hey, Yanni, I love it. I think it's great. Again, that's not what I was looking for, but I like it. All right, so I'm scared to put my ear out again for the right. I don't know what's coming next. So if you want to get rich, you need a niche. That's what people say, right? Right. Now you're like, oh, I got it. I still like the husband. I like it. Trust me, I'm a single girl, 36 years. I'm trying. I'm like, did any man come in the room? Like, if a man comes in and I stop talking, it's because I'm posing. I'm trying to see if he wants me. So trust me, I get it. I crack myself up. Okay, so let me get myself back on track. We gotta get off the husband, we gotta get back onto the market. Oh, get off the husband. Lord! They're gonna not let me come back. Okay. So, there are a group of people who say, everybody take a deep breath. There are a group of people who say that if you want to get rich, you need a niche. Well, a niche in marketing terms is a little bit deeper than a target. At this point, you really start to identify a problem or a commonality between all of the people that puts them into a certain group that makes it easier for you to find them. So an example of a niche would be, if we build on the target that we started with, professional women who are between 30 and 45, total household income of $100,000, living in the suburbs, who are ready to leave their corporate job. Starts to narrow it down a little bit. However, my personal opinion is that that is still not clear enough, because there's tons of women that are in this category that really makes it hard for us to penetrate. So my concept is what I call the audience of one, Susan. If I have a conversation with Susan, we're vibing, we're connecting, we're getting to know each other, I can completely identify with what she's got going on, and I can share information and insight that's going to be very helpful to where she is right now. I believe that your marketing can do the very same thing. I believe that you can create marketing that it makes it appear as if you're having a conversation with Susan when you're really talking to Susan, Sally, Sarah, Jessie, Becky, and everybody all at the same time. And each and every one of them will feel like you're just talking to them. Have you ever read an email where you're like, were they in my bedroom last night? How did they know that that is what I'm dealing with right now? Have you ever read one of those emails and felt like that? Well, that's the kind of marketing that I teach. I teach people how to create this authentic and compelling problem-based marketing. It's what I call client magnetic marketing, because that's how you get penetration. That's how you get people to take decisive action to want to work with you. So when you get really clear on your audience of one, the type of woman, the exact problem that she has, that you have a viable, proven solution to, then you can create marketing that's going to make her want to work with you over and over and over again. So there are 3 questions that you need to answer about this audience of one in order to really get clear about who they are. And the first question is, who would they say that they are? One thing that we do wrong as business owners is we think how we think they should be instead of getting clear on how they think that they are. The best marketing allows people to self-select. They read what you've got to offer and they say, oh, that's me. Oh, I have that problem. Oh, they must be the one who needs to help me. Well, where people go wrong very often is they create marketing based on what they think they need, instead of getting clear on what they are telling you they want. Turn to your neighbor and say, oh my gosh, that makes sense. Do you guys really think it makes sense? Okay, I was just making sure, because you know I'm just feeding you what to say, right? Okay. So that's where a lot of people go wrong. But if you take the time to get to know this group of people, you can identify who they would tell you that they are. Most people hold to what we call labels. Everyone has an ego, right? And everybody tunes into one radio frequency, right? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Everybody tunes into that. Everybody also has a series of labels that they hold very dear to them. Any mothers in the room? If I were to say to you, what's your name? Leanne, you are not a mother. What you gonna say to me? Yes, I am. Did you guys notice how she shook her head? She got a little brown girl syndrome. Yes, I am a mother. That's what's gonna happen because I told you I cracked myself up. I should have given you my disclosure at the beginning that anything is liable to come out of my mouth. But when we hold to labels about who we are, we hold to them very strongly. And when you're able to connect to the labels that the clients you want to serve have, because they hold to them very strongly, they start to look at you as somebody who's out for their best interests, someone that's out for their good, and they start to gravitate towards you. Marketing 101 says you need to work with people, or people will buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you, right? So if you can identify their strongly held labels, it's like they start to know you. And of course, to know you is to like you. And if they like you, they've got to trust you. And it makes it so much easier for you to cross the hurdle of being able to close the sale with them. So who would they say that they are? What are the labels that they hold to? That's the first question. The second question, again based on that universal law of business that I shared with you earlier, is what are they currently struggling with? Here's the thing, people in pain know they're in pain. What's your name? Molly. Have you ever been in like severe pain? And could you think of anything else but the pain? That's how everybody else who's in pain is. See, your service solves a problem. Your service stops the pain. Your service is like Tylenol, Advil, something that you gotta get a doctor to prescribe. It's like, that's what your service is. And people who are in pain are actively looking for you, but they won't find you if you don't focus on their pain. Most people market in business to the solution. Molly just said when she's in pain, she can't think of anything but the pain. So she's gonna miss you if you only focus on the solution. I recommend that you focus on the pain. Now, this is hard for women to do because we're nurturers. And we just wanna love you and make you feel really, really good and talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. But again, if I'm in pain, I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. All I can see is the flipping pain that's right in front of me. If you don't give me something for the pain right now, we're gonna have a problem, right? That's what's happening. So in your marketing, you've gotta ask this, or before you can even get to your marketing, you've gotta answer this second question about the people that you desire to work with. The third question that you wanna answer is, what do they need right now so that they stop struggling? Here's a hint for you. Whatever it is that they need, you better be supplying in your products and services. And if you're trying to reinvent yourself and decide what it is you should be offering, this is a great way to create new products and services. The hands down best way to find out the answers to these questions is to do what we call primary research. To talk to people that are your ideal clients, or the people that you believe to be your ideal clients, to find out, to ask them questions, to do surveys, and see what they would want from you. And the other way to do it is to go back to people that you've worked with in the past. So I want everybody to close their eyes, and I want you to think about the best client you've ever had. Your eyes aren't closed. You guys all got your best client you ever had in your head? What you want to do with me, you can open them now. And I don't want you falling asleep on me. When you think about the answers to these three questions, I want you to go back to that person. Because wouldn't you like 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,500 more of them? Right? So you think about them and you answer these questions. When they came to me, who did they tell me that they were? Where were they at that very moment that they came to me for help? Start writing that down. What did they tell me they were really struggling with? What was it? What did I give them so that the struggling stopped? You start doing that, you'll build what I like to call your audience of one profile. Then when you start to do your marketing, you act as if you're having a conversation with Susan. I literally, every week when I sit down to write my article for the week, I do a video every week, I'm thinking about the type of client that I want to respond as a result of the tips that I have to share that week. I'm literally thinking about us having a conversation, and I'll write down what I'd say to her if she asked me this question. Another thing that I do is I have this feature on my website. It's called Ask Darnyelle, and you can even go to askdarnyelle.com, and you can submit a business or marketing related question to me, and I'll respond either in an article or in a video. I don't put your name in it, so nobody has to know that that was your problem, but I literally respond to these questions. And when you submit the question, there are a few other questions we ask you so that I can start to get into the headspace of you and formulate a response that I know that is going to help you to solve your problem. And this has been a great way for us to use this vehicle to bring new clients through our doors and to get some of that primary research done so that we can help them to really get what it is that they need. Is this helping you? Okay, great. All right, so after you outline your audience of one, it's time to start focusing on creating your magnetic marketing materials, right? So first we started to do what? We realigned our time and our priorities by focusing on what are the two things? Very good. And then we got really clear to make sure that we were working with the right types of clients. And now we're going to make sure that our marketing materials are magnetic, that they're actually going to bring more clients through the doors. And I'm going to talk to you specifically about two different marketing materials because everybody, number one, has a business card, right? And most people have a brochure, some form of everything. And then anybody don't have a website that does not have a website? Okay, good. You know, that might sound like, duh, doesn't everybody? But I was in a room where every hand was up. That's bad. So I'm going to talk to you about what you should have on your website. I'm going to talk to you about what should be on your business card right now. So you're going to want to take lots of notes. Okay, so let's start with your business card. So the first thing that you should have on your business card, in fact, can you guys stop writing for a second and give me a drum roll? The first thing you should have on your business card is your name! I was just in there to see if you were paying attention. So no, seriously, what you want to make sure that you have on your business card is your full contact information. I can't stand for someone to give me a business card that just has an email address. You know why? Because I like to send handwritten notes. Then I gotta make my assistant Charity go snooping to find out their address. Now, if you work from home, you can go to the P.O. box, all right, so you know what I'm trying to say, the post office people, and get a P.O. box or UPS store. You really should have a physical address on your business card. But I don't want you putting your home on there because I don't want some strange man just showing up. Especially if you beautiful ladies put your picture on your business card, which by the way is something else that should be there. You know why? It's a marketing ploy. People will not throw away your face. Is there anybody who has a picture of a baby that they can't identify that's probably 20 years old but they still have it? Oh, am I the only one who won't throw away someone's face? Right, you guys have them, right? You don't know whose kid it is. You don't even know if it's your kid. But you just can't throw it away because it's a face. So if you I can't look at you anymore because she makes me want to laugh even more because she's like over there chuckling. But if you put your face on your business cards, they're going to keep them. That's a great way to be top of mind. So who doesn't have their picture on their business card? Huh? You guys are ready to go home now. That was valuable. Seriously, no, you're going to put your picture on your business card, but make sure that it's a professional picture. It's not a glamour shot. I don't want to see you with the boa and the big earrings, right? No, I want a professional headshot. But you really do want to have a picture on there. And you want it to be clear. I don't want you to be the picture that you have on your Facebook page right now that, you cut out the kids and the dog because you were trying to be a little bit professional. No, I want you to go and get a professional shot taken. You can go to Walmart in a business suit and get pictures for like $1.99. So there's really no excuse. Seriously, you can if you go to their little photo studio. Of course, my assistant, who's a photographer back there, is like, I cannot believe she just told him to go to Walmart. But anyway, I'm trying to make it easy for you. But you want to have your picture. You want to have, of course, your name. You want to have a physical address. You also want to make sure that you have your social media prompts. You want them to be on your business card for many reasons. Number one, only put those on there where you are representing yourself professionally. That Facebook is to my business page. Now, I don't use Facebook for personal. I'm not trying to reconnect with my high school sweetheart. That's why he was my high school sweetheart. I'm actually only on there to make business connections, so they mirror one another. But if you use your personal page to talk about what's happening with little Becky and Sam, and that you just got the new dog and you just came back from vacation, your potential clients don't need to know that. So you want to make sure it's a link to your professional page, right? But you want to make sure that they have that. Are you on Twitter? Who's not on Twitter? You really need to be on Twitter. You probably don't understand it, which is why you're not on there, right? Like, why are people telling me that they just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Twitter is a microblogging tool. It's an opportunity for you to share valuable content and information with people in 140 characters or less. So here's how I use Twitter primarily. Well, we write articles every single week. Valuable articles that gives tons of tips related to marketing and business optimization strategy. So I'll have my assistant or my VA take a sentence from the article and attach the URL link where they can go and watch. I guess they could watch it if they didn't read. Go and read the rest of the article and get valuable information, and also get my call to action so that they can go to my website and take action. So that's one way that you can utilize it. It's a great way to start relationships with people that you believe are not accessible to you. Is there anybody in here who has a hot 100 list? 100 people that you'd like to connect with in business so that you can grow? Okay, so everybody write down on their paper that they need to create a hot 100 list. These can be people close to you, could be people you met here today, could be me because I'm a hot rock star, super bad mama who can show you how to build a 6-figure business, but you want it to be people that you'd like to connect with. It could be Oprah on your hot 100 list. What I love about Twitter, what I love about social media, is it puts people like Oprah at your fingertips. I've had conversations with tons of people that I would have never thought I'd ever be able to have a conversation with because they live across the world. I like to do these things called virtual coffee. So I connect with a person on Twitter, I get them to join me on LinkedIn or Facebook so we can start emailing, and then I invite them to a virtual coffee. We get on Skype, we send them a gift card to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, and then we get on Skype and we have coffee and we get to know each other. I've got clients from around the world because of this strategy, and I met them on Twitter. So it's a great way for you to be extending the life of your business, and it's also a very important marketing strategy in today's economy. It is a good idea, isn't it? Susan loves me, I can tell. So you want to have your LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is really just, it's an online resume. It's an opportunity for you to highlight all the things that you've done in your career that you're proud of. You don't have to tell them that if you don't want to. Thanks for laughing. So it's to talk about all of the things that you really like. The other cool feature about LinkedIn that I love is the recommendations. You can get people to recommend, to talk about how great you are, and then you can point people to your LinkedIn page so that they can get samples of the work that you've done for other people. So you want to make sure that all three of these things are on your business card. Another thing that I think should be on your business card is what I like to call your client magnetic free offer. It's like the pink spoon at Baskin-Robbins. You ever been there when they just brought out the new flavor? Like, my favorite is pralines and cream. I already know I'm going to order pralines and cream, Susan. But I still go in and get a little sample as soon as I get there. Or what about Rita's? You guys have Rita's up here? Yeah. Right? They have the new red velvet ice. I haven't tried it yet, but I love it. You got to go get it. I love red velvet. Well, you can get the little spoon and try it. Now, no, you probably have had a sample that you didn't want, right? And they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to buy it. So wouldn't it be great if you could allow people to sample you in advance and then want more? Well, that's what a free offer is, right? So it could be like, my free offer is how to use your incredible factor to attract all the clients you'd ever need. So you could go to my website, enter your information, and you'll get that audio download so you can sample my work before you decide if you want to do anything else with me. And if not, it's a gift, so you can do whatever you want with it. But it gives people an opportunity to learn a little bit about you. It's also a way to make sure that they go and visit your website and help you to increase your email marketing database. So this is a great way for you to really extend yourself, so you want this to be on your business card. So let's review. What did I say you should have on your business card? Absolutely. Yep. Right. there's one thing I forgot. Your company name, duh. Like, how did I forget that, right? You want to make sure that you have your company name on there. A lot of times, because while you are your main brand, a lot of us are going to be remembered based on our company. So you want to make sure that you have that as well. But those are the core elements that you want to make sure that you have on your business card. If you have those elements there, what's going to start to happen is that people are going to start to take more action with you. They're going to go and visit your website, which we're going to talk about what you should have there right now. Okay, so you should have at least 5 pages on your website. You can have more if you'd like, but these are the 5 pages that are really, really essential. Your homepage, of course, they're going to land there anyway, right? So on your homepage is going to be your opt-in box for them to get your free offer. Who here on their website right now, please be honest with me, it's a safe space, says join our mailing list? Stop immediately. Because do you really think anybody wants to join another mailing list? So what's going to happen instead, that free offer I was just talking to you about, that's what you're going to say instead. So when you go to my website, it says, for your free copy of how to use your Incredible Factor to attract all the clients you'll ever need, enter your name and email address. Isn't that a lot more attractive? Now they're still joining your mailing list, but you're giving them something valuable to make them want to get their name on another flippin' list, right? Yes. So that's a great way for you to do that. That's a free offer. The example of what I'm giving you all for free, that's a free offer, right? So you're going to start to get valuable information from us at Incredible One Enterprises. So it's important that you have that on the first page of your website. You also want to make sure that you have a clear description of what it is that you do on your website. It could be on your homepage, or if you'd like, you can have an About Us tab that lists out. So if your company does multiple things, you might want to have a separate page and have all of those different things listed for you. The third thing that I recommend that you have on your website is a frequently asked questions page. And the reason why, Susan, I want you to have this is because I want you to overcome objections before you talk to people on the phone and talk to them about your products and services. So I want you to think about the questions that people ask you all the time that you wish you never had to answer again. Can you guys think of some of those? Those are, I want you to write those down. So write that down as a takeaway item. You want to write down these questions, and you want to answer them in advance for people. My recommendation is that your FAQ is conversational. So it's like I'm having a conversation with Molly or Susan, and I'm like, no, Molly, we don't test on animals at Incredible One Enterprises. No one has ever asked me that. I'm just making sure you're awake. So you want to have your frequently asked questions. Then you want to have a tab that has success stories or testimonials. You know why? Ask me why. Why? Because people want to know that other people have gotten results from your work. Now, here's the thing. Your testimonial cannot be, I really like Susan. She looks really great in her red jacket. Because nobody wants to know, who cares? No offense, I mean you do look really great. But nobody really cares about that. It has to be what I call a client magnetic testimonial. It has to tell them how who they were before they met you is completely different than who they are now as a result of having met you. And where appropriate, you want there to be some kind of quantitative results. So if you help them to make money, if you help them to save money, if you increase their results by a certain percentage, you want them to list that in the testimonial. Because there are 5 reasons why people are motivated to buy. Would you be excited if I shared that with you? How excited would you be? Okay, that's not excited enough. Could you get a little bit more excited? Then I'll tell you. Okay, all right, great. So here are the 5 reasons why people are motivated to buy. If you can make them money. Hands down, if you can make them money, they're in. If you can save them money, if you can save them money, they're going to be really, really excited. If you can reduce them effort, if they don't have to work as hard as a result of you, they're going to be so super excited. Or if you can reduce them time. Did I say that? Effort? Okay, yeah, I get confused sometimes. And then the last one is if you can increase their happiness and fulfillment. So let me repeat them. If you can make them money, if you can save them money, if you can reduce them effort, if you can reduce them time, or you can increase their happiness and fulfillment, they are going to think you're a rock star. Was that valuable? How valuable? It didn't sound like that was very, did that sound like that was valuable to you? No. So, okay, so those are the pages that you want. Oh, and a contact us page. This is the other thing I hate. When you go to someone's contact us page, and there's nothing but a box for you to enter your information. Don't you hate that? I want to pick up the phone and call you. And here's the thing. When other people do this, you end up losing clients. I don't know. I need an answer right now. So make sure on your contact us page, you have a phone number, you have your mailing address, and you have that box if they want to submit a question. Give them options. People like options. Trust me, these are the things that are going to make you a rock star. So those are the marketing materials. Those are some of the marketing materials. Of course, there's many more, but there are some of the ones that are really, really essential that you really, really have. Are we ready to move on to the K? But before we do, let's do a quick review because I want to make sure you guys are with me. So what was the R? And what are the two things you want to make sure you're doing? Awesome. And then what was the O? What are the three questions you're going to ask yourselves about your ideal clients so that you can get really clear on who they are? Okay, and then what's the last one? Very good. You guys are like almost rock stars. If you go home and implement this, I'm telling you, you're going to be so much closer. And now we're going to move on to the K. The K is about really getting or becoming knowledgeable of what you're going to do when you get these clients. And I recommend that you create something that I call your problem progression plan. Your PPP. The reason why you want to have a problem progression plan, it goes back to that universal law of business I was talking about, right? It is a proven fact that when a person has a problem and gets a solution to a problem, a new problem surfaces. Anybody ever didn't have any money? Right? You broke. I didn't want to call you broke, but you're acting like you never were broke. Some of you were broke. And then you got some money, and then you got a whole other series of problems, right? Now that you got a couple of dollars, you got a mortgage and a car payment, and your kids want to go to private school. You got more problems. So then you need a whole other solution, right? Well, the same thing is going to happen to your potential clients. They're going to have a problem. You're going to give them a solution, which is going to generate another problem. If you can solve all of these congruent problems in your company, guess what's going to happen? You're going to build clients for life. How awesome would it be if you, let's just imagine that you got 10 clients. And each of those 10 clients worked with you for a year. And let's say it was a $10,000 contract. That's $100,000, right? And what if when they finished working with you for that year, they had another problem that you'd solve the following year for $12,000? And it just kept going and going and going. There's so many people out there looking for new clients without realizing that if you create a problem progression plan, you can keep your clients longer. See, what we do as women, we like to fix it, don't we? We want to, every boo-boo, we want to heal it right now. Your baby's got 20 Band-Aids on right now. So we're trying to fix everything at once. Don't try to fix everything at once, because what happens, we overwhelm people. And what happens when people are overwhelmed? Right, they don't do anything. They back away, they're like, don't come near me, don't touch me, you make me nervous. Right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to overwhelm people. So instead, one Band-Aid at a time makes a lot more sense, right? So when you create this problem progression plan, it's going to set you up to keep your clients longer. And that is what we really all want to have happen. Make sense? Awesome. So, what questions can I answer for you? How much time do I have left? Oh, perfect. Look at me with my bad self. Any questions? No, honey. No. I'll let you know. You'll be watching TV, minding your own business. And they'll say, it doesn't matter what channel you're watching, it doesn't matter where you are. They're going to say, we now interrupt your current programming with this late breaking announcement. It has finally happened, America! Darnyelle Jervey is getting married. You're like, oh my gosh, she taught me how to market like a rock star. She got that rich husband and now she doesn't have to work. That's what's going to happen. I think the earrings came from Baker's at the Christiana Mall. I went there the other day looking for shoes for my 3-day event that I just got finished doing. I couldn't even wear earrings all 3 days because my microphone kept bumping up against my earrings and it was making the sound people a little upset. So I had to go earringless. That's why I had to put them on today so I could just do this and get it out of my system because I couldn't wear earrings for 3 days. Any other questions? Yes?
Your 3-day event, can you share with us something fabulous that you learned, something on the leading edge?
Okay, so my event is called Client Magnet Marketing Secrets. So I had about 70 people come from all over the country to learn my Client Magnet Marketing Secrets formula, success formula. And one of the things that I learned, when you have an event and you bring a group of people together, and you guys are probably recognizing this, and Jen, I know you're gonna, when you go through your feedback, you're gonna get this. What we do when we have an event is we pull together the right mix of people at the right time so that everyone in the room gets exactly what they need to move forward and exactly what they came to get. That is so powerful. Like, I did the ugly cry. Like, I normally, okay, so I do events all the time, so I normally, when I get home, I compress and I think about what happened and I express my gratitude to God for what He allowed me to do through the people that I was serving at that point in time. I do that like all at home behind closed doors. It was so overwhelming.